it's your nostalgia girly. Let's do a deep dive on why BET canceled the Monique show. First, I want to give my girl Monique her flowers and just a little bit about who Monique is and what she's done for the culture and entertainment. Monique began her career in stand up comedy, garnering fame from her bold, unapologetic style and humor. She always stayed true to her black culture, relationships, and body positivity. She also starred in one of the biggest all female stand up comedies, the Queen of Comedies tour. Before we had Lizzo or any other plus size influencer, there was no one doing it like our girl Monique. Fashion wise, hair wise, especially as a plus size black woman, she was doing it for us girls. Monique has done so much entertainment wise. She started in her own TV show, The Parkers, that ran from 1999 to 2004. She played a single mother who was in college with her daughter at the same time. How ironic. I don't know a single person that has not watched or seen an episode of The Parkers. Please, let's be honest. The Parkers is one of the best early 2000s TV show ever. The show is a spin-off of Moesha and had a cultural impact since its debut date in 1999. The show was funny, relatable, and everyone knew someone like Nikki Parker. The Parkers ran for a good 5 seasons, which is rare for a black sitcom, especially in the early 2000s because that was peak television. And let's be honest, let's get into the fashions. Nikki Parker's fashions was on 10. Whoever styled Monique during this era of the Parkers deserves all of their tens.
Hey, hold up now. Advice ain't free, player.
Monique has also appeared on other TV shows and movies like The Bernie Mac Show, Welcome Home Roscoe Jenkins, Precious, Almost Christmas, my personal fave, Fat Girls, Two Can Play That Game, Baby Boy, Three Strikes, Soul Plane, and so much more. Monique has also made cameos in shows and movies like In the Game. And let's be honest, the game really had the best guest stars, but we'll talk about that in another video. Girlfriends, Shadow Boxer, Blackbird, The Reading, Good Fences. Also did countless hostings of the BET Awards for consecutively 3 years. Her BET host years were honestly the best, and she was the best host. But back to the shows and movies. Boondocks, Ugly Betty, Proud Family, BMF, Bessie, Hair Show, and her own VH1 reality show, Charm School. You just really had to be there for that moment.
I just want to say that I'm so excited to be here with you and that I brought a token of my appreciation. Just thank you.
I gave Monique an apple. I was like, Lord, please don't let Monique eat that damn apple. Ain't no telling what type of shit is going on in them nooks and crannies of her titties. I'm gonna sit it right here, okay?
Thank you.
That apple was hot as hell. What a
Monique has also won countless awards. We know that she won her Oscar in 2009 for the movie Precious. She won an Academy Award, Golden Globe Award, and an Independent Spirit Award. So, as we know, after almost 15 years in the industry, Monique definitely wanted to change from her career from just being entertainment, doing movies, TV, and even comedy. There was a time where there were so many talk shows, especially on big networks like NBC and ABC, but it started to be a decline in black talk shows, especially late night. There were so many major talk shows like David Letterman, Jimmy Kimmel, and Jay Leno, but none for us and by us. So it was a very special time for TV where it was kind of hard to land a show or a sitcom or for a sitcom to stay because of how entertainment was changing and how TV was
For you.
changing as well.
I won't say goodbye. I'll just say, until we meet again.
Oprah's long 25-year talk show ended in 2011. The talk show had over 4,500 episodes, and Oprah became the first woman to host the nationally syndicated talk show and will become the richest self made black woman in the world. Even though Oprah's talk show ended in 2011, a couple years before that, everyone knew that Oprah's talk show was coming to an end, and there was need for another black woman to usher in. It was specifically a time where we need that space for black creators, artists, singers, actresses, actors, rappers, anybody that was in the industry at the time that maybe couldn't go on a big network or The View or even Late Night Show with Jimmy Kimmel. They needed that space to be able to talk about what they had going on. Not to say it wasn't a space for us, but we needed a talk show space where we felt comfortable as the viewers and we could relate and to see celebrities that represented us and looked like
Monique
us.
makes history on BET.
Y'all see, baby? That's how you get it started!
Come to her playground 5 nights a week.
I ain't got nothing but love for you.
Mo stars, Mo laughs, momentum. Entertainment Weekly says, get ready for a nightly party. The Monique Show.
Honestly, the show came out swinging, being that Monique had been in the industry for so long. It wasn't hard to get artists, celebrities, actors, actresses on the couch because at that time, honestly, everybody wanted to be on the couch. If they had something to promote, if they had a new movie coming out, they wanted to be on Monique's couch. Plus, Monique was having real and raw conversations. She wasn't trying to get a headline, she wasn't being messy. She was having those actual conversations and it didn't feel forced. It felt like she was not only interviewing a celebrity, but she was actually giving the celebrity their flowers and also promoting whatever they had going on at the time. It felt like real kitchen table talk with your girls, your auntie, your uncle, or your mom. It didn't matter who you were, it was a safe place for someone or
All
anyone.
of that. Yes, baby. Our Barbie doll. That's our Barbie doll right there. Come on, y'all. Let's have a seat, Miss Gabrielle Union, looking beautiful.
Featured a wide range of celebrities, so many personalities like Belle Biv DeVoe, Common, Elisa Neal, Erykah Badu, Eva Marcel, Foxy Brown, the beautiful Gabrielle Union, Ice Cube, India Arie, Carrie Hilson, Melanie Fiona, Mike Epps, Monica, Marion, Patti LaBelle, Plies, Raven Simone, Chili, Taraji P. Henson, the Braxtons, Tiny and Toya, Tony Braxton, SWV, and so many other celebrities.
You sit down, sit down. We got a lot to talk about.
Oh, baby.
Look at this. So this is how it feels. This is how it really feels. So I'm going to pretend I won.
Okay,
I would
wait.
like to thank. Okay, I'm sorry.
We got to do it.
I think what made Monique's talk show so unique is the different type of celebrities that was on. It was wide ranges from shows like Meet the Browns or even Monica promoting her reality TV show
Reality show.
or artists like Young
What
Money.
will we see? Because people want to know what reality. Will you see the real person, whatever that means? What are we going to see in Monica?
You know what? This show is totally different from some of the ones that you've seen before, no disrespect to them. But what it is really about is my life, my journey, me finding my own spirituality, me being a mother of 2 children. So you'll see things happen on the show and you'll think, oh,
Yes, the interviews were fun, they were good, they were cool, but let's talk about the performances. Earlier, I mentioned Nicki Minaj coming to the Monique show alongside her group Young Money. This was the early stages of Drake, Nicki Wayne. Nicki Minaj album Peak Friday haven't even came out yet, and Drake's So Far Gone album just came out. So it was very early in both of their careers. They all got to perform on the Monique show to perform Bedrock. Even Lloyd came out. I vividly remember watching this and being so happy to see them all on stage together performing Bedrock. Everyone looked so good. It just felt like a family reunion. And then to see Monique on the side hype and singing a song, it just made the moment even more special. And the song was super big at the time and it was everywhere. And I feel like this moment would have not happened if it wasn't for the Monique show. Now to even more performances, the Monique Talk Show had some of the best performances of the 2010s. Sierra came to perform her hit single Ride. It was so popular at the time. It was one of her best performances of Ride, and she looked good, and of course she was repping the A. Also, Jagged Edge came to perform. SWV, Bobby V, Donnell Jones, BBD, Monica, Trey Songz, Fantasia, Jill Scott, Raheem Devine, Chrisette Michelle, Young Money, Trina, T.I., Kirk Franklin, the Isley Brothers, and so many other legendary artists came to perform for the Monique show. The artists that would come perform on the show would be legendary artists like SWV, Robin Thicke, BBD, artists that we haven't seen in years that would come back and promote their new tours that are going on or new albums. It was just a safe place for artists, new, old, young, and current. As we know, all good things come to an end, and eventually, the Monique Show ended in 2011 after 2 seasons on BET. And while the network and other sites say they wanted to focus on new programming, we all know that there were more deeper reasons behind the scenes that contributed to the cancellation of the show. Allegedly, as we know, when it comes to our girl Monique, she has had rumors surrounding her for years. There were rumors that there was some type of conflict between Monique and her husband Sidney Hicks and the BET executives. Allegedly, they say there were disagreements reportedly involving creative control, scheduling production, as well as higher pay. If anybody knows Monique, there is two things she does not play about: her man and her pay. And she does not play about getting what she's earned and what she's supposed to get paid.
The show come to an end. Like, I've heard so much wishy-washy, but you the host.
That's a great question, Jonathan, and we've never gotten an answer. We're like the little girl on Family Matters. We went upstairs and we simply never came back because the third season was picked up. It was picked up.
People loved it.
Then we got a call. And people loved it, and just so that you know the facts, it was the #1 show in that time slot, and it was the highest numbers in the history of BET's network during that time spot.
There was a cancer awareness show in which they had come, the bigwigs, Deborah Lee and the bigwigs had come. Well, Monique had said in a meeting that I believe in this network and I'm down for it. And for those people that are dropping the ball, either step on the ship or step the fuck off. That was strong words. I was asked to go to D.C. the next day because we were going to try to get President Barack Obama on the show. When I went to D.C., I was asked to come visit with Deborah Lee as she conveyed to me that Monique had apparently insulted some people that were in the room. When we asked who it was, she wouldn't tell us. We then said, well, if you want Monique to apologize to somebody, she's got to know who she's apologizing to. And it seemed as if we went from having a wonderful relationship with Deborah Lee to having a relationship where all of a sudden she appreciated the words that Monique communicated the night before, but because someone else had an issue with it, but she won't tell her who her accuser is, what do you do? There's a woman by the name of Laretha Jones.
Okay.
She was the president of the West Coast, and she was in charge essentially of our show. She's the one that I made the deal with on behalf of Monique. She communicated to us, and to me personally, in tears, I hate the way they treated you and the way that you left. And you can't run in and tell us that we broke records and we did incredibly well, and you're going to reduce the budget of the show because people know where you at. Where they do that at?
I hope this show tonight reminds us all not to take the limits of our own vision or others as the limits of the world. Just as Dr. Tyson told us, something does indeed exist beyond the horizon we see with the naked eye, both down here and up there. So in everything that you do, stretch your imagination. Be willing to explore and look beyond the limitations that you see. And most importantly, always know there is much more for you beyond what others might see for you.
In 2011, BET was undergoing different changes in programming, and it was also around that time where TV was changing. A lot of people were watching reality TV. It was in a weird shift because we were going into another era, technology era. Movies was changing, music was changing. A lot of the entertainment style that we once knew before was changing. So it was definitely a decline compared to last year and a couple years prior, and people were watching more reality TV than any other TV genre, like a late night talk show or a comedy show. She called out big names like Oprah, Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels. She also called out big major black icons in our industry. She felt like there was a lack of industry support. And in Monique's own words, she felt like they were being quiet, not speaking up for her, and she felt like they were being ungrateful for the work that she put in for that movie, for the little amount of money that was made.
And they called and requested that I fly to France for the Cannes Film Festival. I simply said I respectfully declined, because if you can remember at the time, there was a talk show called The Monique Show. I was doing a comedy tour. I was actually in the award season of the awards, and I'm also a wife and I'm a mommy.
So when they called, I had a couple days just downtime. I wanted to spend that with my husband and my kids. And they said, what is it going to take to get Monique to France, to the Cannes Film Festival? And my husband said, is there a number associated with it? And they said, oh, we would never pay for anyone to do any promotions for a movie. And we said we understood, because what people didn't know was I was paid $50,000 to do the movie Precious. And it really wasn't about the money, and I'm not complaining because I signed up to do it with my friend.
Yeah. But
So
you're,
when the movie-
you're saying that because you didn't have the money to do this on your own. Is that what you're saying? That you needed to feed your family and pay your bills?
I think that's what America says.
Yeah.
I think we all say, I can't do it for free.
Right.
So when the movie studio says we can't set a precedent and pay you to do this, we didn't have an issue with them.
Okay.
But that's when the reports came that now Monique is being demanding and she's being difficult. They had a request, we simply had a request, and they said they couldn't do it, and we said we understood.
You got to play ball.
That's
This
what-
is
that was
not.
the
This is
question I wanted to ask
you
you.
have to. This is not just show. It's show business, and you've got to play ball.
Someone else, you guys, who made headlines on stage recently is Oscar-winning actress.
Regardless if you're a Monique fan or not, we can all agree that her going out of the country to promote a movie for free was not okay. Yes, her delivery may have been a little bit wonky, but let's be honest. If you're a Black woman in America and if you're sticking up for yourself, people are always going to say you're doing too much. She said it the wrong way. She could have said it the right way. No, she said it the right way, and I think that was Monique's point when it came to the Precious rollout, that she wanted her voice to be heard. As we know, Monique called for a boycott of Netflix in January 2018 after alleging that Netflix underpaid her for a comedy special compared to other high-profile comedians. Monique felt like she was getting lowballed, and the deal was Netflix allegedly offered her $500,000 for an hour stand-up special, while they offered Amy Schumer $11 million, Dave Chappelle $13 million, Chris Rock $20 million. Monique felt like that was wrong. She felt like it was color bias and gender bias. She pointed out that when she questioned the compensation, the executives of Netflix dismissed her. They didn't listen to her.
So in the discussion with Netflix, Robbie Prohl, who was vice president of comedy, when he was speaking with my husband, Sidney, and our attorney, Ricky Anderson, they were saying, speaking in reference to the deal, and they wanted to know, how did you come up with that number? Mm-hmm. How is it that Monique gets paid $126 less than Amy Schumer would get paid? And Robbie Prohl said, well, we go by what we anticipate you'll do.
Right.
So then Sidney said, well, based off of Monique's resume, you see that what she's done. I know, but we don't go off of resumes. He said, well, then may I ask how you came up with Amy Schumer's number? He said, well, she sold out Madison Square Garden twice, and she had a hit movie in 2017. Sidney then said, is that not Amy Schumer's resume? And then this was the response.
Radio silence.
It got dead silent. And then he said, we appreciate what you're trying to say. And then they said, well, because Sidney and Attorney Anderson said, well, what is your best offer? Robbie Prohl said, we'll go back and we'll meet with the team. And then we'll come back to you guys.
But Monique, when she sold out two full houses at Madison Square Garden, that means the girl can pull. It's all about asses in the seats.
I totally agree with you.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
that's not her resume. That's what she drew.
Yes, I totally agree with
Okay.
you. And when you look at the resume of Monique, that's asses in the seat.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the point. So it's not about the resume. It's about how many people you draw.
The point is, but it is also about the resume. Because what happens is our finish line keeps changing. And when I say that, Whoopi, as a Black woman in Hollywood, see, initially you're told, build up your resume. And that's what'll get the money. Then you build up.
You know I will forever love our girl Monique. She is one of the pioneers of not only being a Black woman in comedy, but TV, movies, and also a host. The end of the Monique Show was an era, and I feel like we all know where we were at and what we were doing when the Monique Show was out. It was a time where Black spaces were needed, and we needed to have a voice. The Monique Show may have ended, but it gave us good memories and good things to look back on. As of now, there hasn't been any other Black woman to do late night talk shows since then, but we do have other Black women doing talk shows like Jennifer Hudson, Sherri Shepherd, and others, but that'll be another video. All in all, I want to give Monique her flowers and all she's done for the culture and she continues to do. Until next time, my loves, and if you have any suggestions on who you guys would like a deep dive on or for me to talk about, like, comment, and subscribe below. Until next time.